Welcome to Bracket Bastard, the podcast. We take a bracket of 32, 64, 128 or more and banter our way down to a winner. I am your host this week, Freddie Fisher, and this is Kevin.
I am the bearded bastard, the one with the beautiful beard, the longest beard of them all. We also have some guests this week, and they are...
Hi, my name is Steve from Back to the Retro Review and or the last podcast you'd want. And joining me is...
I'm Will. I have no show whatsoever, but I'm here.
And we have Colin from across the pond on this one. We don't really have a lot of international guests. I love to have it, more international guests because they create a little bit more flair that we don't have over here, and I appreciate it. So, Colin, tell us about yourself a little bit.
I'm a comedian, and I do a podcast called Colin in Conversation that we just put the first batch out. So yeah, just that's me, really, comedian. Like a bit of a laugh. Thought this might be fun.
Well, I'm really glad that Colin's here. At least somebody from across the pond is here because we are talking about James Bond this week. But we're going to do a little bit of a spin on it because last week on the show, we were talking about perfectly cast roles. We're going from perfectly cast to some of the absolute worst possible people that we could possibly think. Facebook helped us out on this one and gave us this list about 2 weeks ago, and I applaud them for it. No more rules apply. Number one, blowing a load. Lifelines wise, blowing a load. If you're one of the first people to go, don't want to be one of the first people to go, you blow a load. It means you're going last. If somebody else blows their load after you, you are no longer going last. You're going directly before them, and so on and so forth. That goes to the end of the show. These next two goes all the way until the third place voting. I will give you warning. Number two is steal a vote. If you're you're allowed to steal one person's vote as long as they have not voted yet, and it is your turn. So keep that in mind. And pass the parcel. If anytime during the show you absolutely don't want to vote for any particular reason, you can pass the parcel. That gives the vote to the audience per se. This is the list. The audience has been voting the entire week, and numbers have been calculated, so it goes directly to them, and they get your vote. Whatever the audience says goes. You guys ready to start this?
Sure.
Sounds good. All right.
No.
Number one.
You bastard.
Kevin's being a dick today. Number one, I start us off, is either going to be Jack Black or Johnny Knoxville.
Hi, I'm James Bond, and welcome to Jackass.
I know. Who out of these two? There's a lot of J names on this list, by the way. But as far as these two, Jack Black or Johnny Knoxville, I think Johnny Knoxville would have a lot. I think Johnny Knoxville would do a better job playing James Bond, to be perfectly honest, because I think he would have the physical nature to do it. I don't think Jack Black could do anything physical regarding spy work whatsoever. I think Johnny Knoxville could do it and play a townie as much as anybody else could. So between the two, I think the worst one would be Jack Black. That is my vote. Kevin, what are yours?
Yeah, I'm going to go with James Bond and the Martini of Destiny. So Jack Black.
Gets another one, Steve.
Yeah, I if we're going with the worst, it would be Jack Black because he'd be like Bond, James Bond.
Well,
definitely Jack Black. Johnny Knoxville could guaranteed take a bump. Guaranteed. He can recover too.
Oh yeah, he's been in a wrestling ring. We know he can take a bump.
And Colin, finish us off on this one.
I think like Johnny Knoxville's a double hard bastard, isn't he? Like I think if we're playing the worst, it has to be Jack Black, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In our opening matchup, we have a sweep. Jack Black moves on to the next round. Kevin starts us off. Kevin, is it Robert De Niro or Will Ferrell?
Oh.
This is a fucked up bracket. I'm just letting you guys
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Okay, so I actually think Will Ferrell could pull it off. So I'm going to go De Niro on this one. I think Will Ferrell could actually play a straight role and pull off a James Bond.
Gets a vote, Steve.
I'm just yeah, I'm gonna go Robert De Niro just because there's gonna be a scene where like he has to negotiate and it's just gonna be like James Bond like I have nipples, Goldfinger. Can you milk me? So yeah, Robert De Niro.
Will.
It's definitely gonna have to be De Niro because he need a wheelchair to get him to even do anything. And who really wants to see Robert De Niro in a sex scene?
Colin.
My answer is in a similar vein. I don't really want De Niro coming out of the water in blue trunks. You know, like, and I suspect, the elephant in the room is I suspect Will Ferrell's English accent will be a little bit better as well. So I would have to go De Niro as well. Yeah, definitely.
It's going to end up being 4-1. I'm going to go for Will Ferrell on this one. One, for previous listeners on the show, know that I can't stand Will Ferrell. I just don't. I don't fucking like the guy. Strangers in Fiction is the only movie that I've ever seen him in that he actually did a good job on. I haven't even the movie Elf. I can't stand the movie Elf either. I think it's beyond the sake of stupid.
I'm
As
Step
far
Brothers
as
is his best movie.
as far as Robert De Niro goes, as far as the Americanness goes on this one, if I remember right, wasn't wasn't American just cast as Bond 2? Played
Henry
played
Cavill.
Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Well, I don't know if they've announced a new Bond because I know that
Bond's just been sold to Amazon.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say Amazon
Lock,
just
stock, and
bought
barrel.
the rights for Bond for a full series.
They want Cavill. They want Cavill, but I don't
oh,
know.
I thought that was announced.
I don't think it. No, I don't think.
I thought it was announced too.
I mean, I still think De Niro, though, even though I agree with everything that you said about Will Ferrell.
I can't stand the guy. I vote against him every time I can. This is more of an anti-vote. I don't want to see Will Ferrell in a Bond. I don't even want to see him in a spy role. Like even like the Spy Hard type stuff. I don't want to see him in that kind of stuff either. So De Niro moves on 4-1 to the next round though. Steve starts us off. Is it Carl Urban or Danny Trejo?
Oh, Danny Trejo, because I could 100% see Carl Urban as James Bond. Don't get me wrong, like Danny Trejo is a great actor, but do we need James Bond running around with a machete?
I wouldn't mind it.
I did because no, it's Trejo only because I could legitimately see Carl Urban in that type of role.
Gets a vote, Will.
I'm gonna go with Carl Urban. You can't go wrong with Machete. You never go out. You're never out of options, man.
Funny enough, I've actually met both of those actors.
Colin.
Can I honestly say I don't know? You're going to need to help me. Can I pass my thing on at this stage?
Have you seen the new Dredd movie? Just Dredd?
No, not yet. No.
The Boys?
Have you seen Doom with The Rock?
Yes.
Carl Urban is the main actor opposite The Rock.
Okay.
And then do you not know who Danny Trejo is?
Give me something he's been in.
Machete.
Machete's probably the most known one.
Yeah. Desperado.
He's a rather large Hispanic gentleman with a senorita tattooed on his chest.
Yeah.
He's in all the Spy Kid movies.
Yeah. No, I hear you. He'd play the other guy.
Carl Urban?
Yeah, Carl Urban, yeah.
Gets the vote off of this one. I'm going to agree with Steve on this one. I personally think Carl Urban would make a good James Bond. Like, no anti-vote here whatsoever. I think he'd actually do a really good job as that one. Trejo. Although I would like to see James Bond wield a machete in a comical sense. I don't think Danny Trejo could do it as well as anybody else could.
It
So
wouldn't be a martini no more. It'd be tequila.
I'm Bond, James Bond.
Kevin, is it? It's a tie-breaking decision. Is it Carl Urban or Danny Trejo?
Oh, Danny Trejo. It's Danny Trejo.
3-2. Trejo moves on to the next round. William starts us off. William, is it Zach Galifianakis or Dr. Ken Jeong?
Oh,
Oh, man. Fucked up.
He's like, who can be worse than Zach? And then Dr. Ken goes in there. It's like, fuck.
uh,
Who was the second choice? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Ken
Dr.
Jeong.
Ken. Yeah, Ken Jeong, Dr. Ken.
I'm
you
gonna
seen
go with
Kevin-
Dr. Ken there
Have
because
you
I
seen-
think
have
Zach
you
could
seen
do
the
it.
Hangover movies?
Yeah,
He's a one-man wolf pack. You can't go wrong. I got to go with Dr. Ken.
Actually, they're both in the Hangover movies.
Yeah, they're both in the
Yeah.
Hangover.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Movies.
yeah,
Ken Jeong is the one who was in the trunk.
yeah.
Naked.
Chen.
Yeah.
Asian guy.
But okay, so you're going with Ken Jeong on that one?
Yes, sir.
All right, Colin, is it
I
Dr. Ken or Zach?
I have to agree with the majority. I think. Yeah, I think Dr. Ken.
Gets another one. I think Bond has to be more of a suave type character. I don't see Galifianakis pulling that off as well as Ken Jeong would.
Who let the dogs out?
So I'm gonna go with the worst one being Zach on this particular one. Kevin.
I really can't choose both of them. I am going to pass the parcel on this one.
Pass the parcel for Kevin is off the board. Find it real quick. All right. Between Galifianakis and Jeong, it's going to be Ken Jeong. Galifianakis ended up leaving us at spot 22 out of 32. So Ken gets that vote. Steve, finish this out. Is it Zach or Ken?
Well, I mean, so technically right now it's 3 for Ken and 1 for
Yep.
Gal. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what I say because it's Gal. I think that Ken would be able to do a more serious role than Galifianakis. And that's only because like Chen is so serious in The Hangover to begin with. And I know he's played serious roles, but I've never seen Galifianakis in an actual serious role. Like, and whenever I think of him, I literally just think of his stand-up. So, my vote's for Galifianakis.
I want to see Dr. Ken play like a Scarface role.
That'd be good.
Just because, like, I think he has the attitude type thing to pull it off. But having a short little dude play such a badass role, I think it'd be fucking hilarious. Dr. Ken moves on 3-2 to the next round. Colin starts us off. Is it George Lopez or Adam Devine?
Oh,
I'm going to pass on this one.
Okay.
Pass to Marcel. Yeah, I can't. They both be dreadful.
It's going to be Lopez coming in at number 9. Adam Devine leaves us at number 29. So there's a rather large vote difference in between that one. So George Lopez gets that particular vote. I'm gonna go for Devine on this one. For people who don't know who Adam Devine is Bumper in the Pitch Perfect movies. He's done other stuff too, but that's what I know him. I know him from the most.
Workaholics.
Yeah, crap. Thank you, Workaholics as well. I think George Lopez is old enough and suave enough to pull off a James Bond, at least in a spoof movie. Devine, no way in hell he could even do that in a spoof movie. So I think Devine is the worst option. Kevin, Lopez, Devine.
So I'm not gonna lie. When you first said the names, I thought you said Adam Levine, the lead singer from Maroon 5. I'm like, how's that a bad choice? That could
I know.
work.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah. But Adam Devine, that beady-eyed little fucker. Fuck him. Yeah, pick him.
Wow, Steve.
I don't
That's
like
true.
him. I
I,
don't
I
like him.
I'm gonna pick George Lopez because I think I've seen George Lopez in what would be considered a serious role, and I think Adam would be better at it. So my pick is George Lopez.
You
Which means the
can't.
tie-breaking decision coming down to Will.
Yeah, Divine is he can't do it. A spoof with Lopez would be great. A Mexican or Mexican James Bond would be awesome.
Jorge Bond.
Jorge Bond.
Adam Levine moves on 3-2 to the next round. I start this one off. It's either Jeff Goldblum or
Oh,
Seth MacFarlane. I again spoof movie wise, I see Seth MacFarlane pulling it off. Uh, I've like I think he could do it. Okay, sorry, this is where I'm stuck. I think Jeff Goldblum could give an honest portrayal, but still suck at it as a serious Bond. But Seth MacFarlane could do a better job as a Bond in a spoof movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jeff Goldblum on this one because that's what we're trying to talk about. Kevin, is it Goldblum or MacFarlane?
This is tough, man. This one's tough. I mean, Goldblum. I mean, when I think of Goldblum, I think of Jurassic Park and his sexy shirt hanging off of him laying down. And then I mean, Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, there you
There you
go.
go.
There you go. Right there, the Funko Steve. And then I mean, so yeah, I think. I'll go Seth. I'll go Seth.
I mean, it all depends on what age Goldblum we're talking here.
This is true.
I mean, there's been different ages of Bond though too. So it's like even Jeff Goldblum now. So,
um,
uh, Steve,
I so I'm going to say McFarlane purely because it's going to be the scene where he goes to introduce himself and he goes, "Oh, my name is Bond, James Bond," and it's just Stewie the entire film. That's just his little British man. Like that would be his James Bond, and then like he'd have to go undercover, and it would be like such a stupid Fletch thing, and then he'd walk up and he'd be like, I think you have a parcel for me." Like it would just be him, and then James Bond would do a musical number. Whereas you literally have Goldblum who would be going, Goldblum who'd be going up to the lady and going, if I take a drop of water and drop it on the back of your hand, which way do you think it's going to roll? Like Goldblum would just present himself so much that it has to be Seth MacFarlane.
gets a vote. William,
McFarlane all day, 100%. I can't see Stewie. Where's my money coming? 100%. I agree with Steve.
and Colin, finish this out.
You know what? Like I would it would have been Goldblum hands down had I not seen Chaos, and he played a vindictive, dark psychopath quite well. I think Goldblum could do Bond. But McFarlane did the Sinatra's celebration of his death thing, where he did songs with a big band and was. It's tough, man. I think Seth. I think McFarlane. I think because Goldblum was a bastard in Chaos, and Bond's a bastard, isn't he?
I was torn either way, to be perfectly honest, because if you've seen the movie Wicked, it should be on videos pretty soon. But he plays he plays the wizard in that movie, and he's kind of a suave douchebag character in that one too.
Yes, yes.
So
I play the wizard. The wizard. Yes, the Wizard of Oz. Yes. Cage the animals. Gave monkeys wings. Yes, yes. Police are coming for me now. Yes.
I know I was waiting for him to pass. Um, all right, McFarlane moves on 4-1 to the next round. Kevin starts us off. Kevin, Wait, no, Kevin does not start this one off. Steve starts this one off. Steve, is it David Spade or Jim Carrey?
It's David Spade. It's you did. There's no debate. As soon as you said Spade, I was like, "There." Oh, Richard. That was Farley. But no, there's no way I would ever take David Spade as it's David Spade.
Gets a vote. William.
Spade all day. Jim Carrey pulled off Ace Ventura. Come on, Joe Bond will be a breeze.
Colin.
Jim Carrey was the only good thing out of the Batman film with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Was he played the Riddler, didn't he?
Yep.
Yes,
He was the only good thing about that movie. And I think Carey's a genius. He could play whoever he wants. And Spade's an irritating little shit.
Wasn't Poison Ivy in that one too, or no? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
So the one that Carey is in is Batman Returns, which is Riddler and Two-Face, and then Batman Forever is Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman as Mr. Freeze. I'm a big movie guy, so like 23 movie histories.
His Riddler was the best thing about that period of those Batman films because they were all pretty shit, weren't they?
Yes.
You know.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with Spade on this one. Kevin, finish this out. Is it Spade or Carey?
It's Spade because Carey can do great roles straight. I mean,
yeah. Watch The Majestic.
Yeah, that
number 23.
Number 23. Oh my God, number 23.
Man on the Moon was pretty good
Spade,
too. So.
Easy. And Spade's a little short, little shit too. So yeah.
Yeah. Lick his bicep.
5-0. Spade moves on to the next round. Last up in the first half of round one, Will starts us off. I skipped somewhere in there. I don't know who the hell skipped, but let's go. Will starts us off. Is it Danny McBride or Adam Sandler?
I would love to see Danny McBride.
My name is James Bond.
I would love to see Danny McBride as 007. Holy shit.
I want my martini shaken, not stirred.
Sandler could pull that off, though. I mean, he probably could. I mean, he does do good in serious roles. I'm going to have to go with McBride on this one.
Gets a vote. Colin.
Same. Sandler. I think Sandler could do it. There's some weird, twisted voodoo universe where Sandler would play a reasonable Bond. Yeah, I think McBride all the way.
I'm with Kevin. I want to see Danny McBride as Bond. I kind of do. And Steve kind of ruined Sandler for me with that entire shtick. So I think Sandler.
Damn it, Steve.
Sandler in my mind right now is just not the Bond. I'm gonna go with Sandler. Kevin, is it Sandler or McBride?
Okay, I want to see Danny McBride as 007, but he's the worst choice out of those two. So it's got to be Danny McBride.
Yeah, it's a different question. Who do we want to see play James?
Yeah, I know.
That's the whole of the show.
Yeah, I'd rather see Kenny Powers as James Bond. So I'm gonna.
I want to see James Bond with a mullet for sure.
I'm gonna pick Sandler.
3-2. McBride moves on to the next round. We'll be right back right after this break. All right. So the only thing off the board so far is oh wait, no, there's two of them. So Colin's passed the parcel and Kevin's passed the parcel, both off the board. Everything else is still good. We have a thank you to review there, guys. Today's thank you to review comes from Paul. It's tomorrow, you haters. Or sorry, heathens. Tomorrow, you heathens. I can't read my own spelling. Love what you're doing on Bracket Bastards and your channel as a whole, but you are not really talking about any horror stuff. It's been a minute since any horror themed show. I'd like to hear what you got on tap. In fact, I'd like to suggest one. How about funniest horror movie kills in movies? 5 stars on Podbean. Signed Paul Frazier. As well, I added a quote to the end of the show, if you may. Few things on that one. One, Kevin on his programming has a horror show. So if you're into horror shows, check out Kevin's stuff. Two, this I haven't put it on the calendar yet, but I think the entire horror kills in movie is a good idea. So
Mhm.
it will be going on either in September or October. Probably probably put that one in October, and another one we'll be adding on just because I was thinking about it is one kill one liners from movies as well, like the Hasta La Vista Baby and I'll Be Back and a whole bunch of stuff like that one. So there's an option. However, his question is about the funniest horror movie kills in movies, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with Kevin on this one. Kevin,
The only one I can think of right off the top of my head, because I didn't know this was coming, was from Freddy vs. Jason when Freddy grabs the chick from Destiny's Child. Can't remember her name.
Michelle.
Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland by the nose and just rips it off. Says, "Got your nose." And it made me laugh. That's the
That's-
only thing.
That's a dream. That's not a kill. Just not to be that guy.
Well, you are that guy, so fuck you. And so that's the one I'm going with.
Steve.
Automatically, funny enough, Jason. It's going to be Jason X when he's in the simulation, and there are the two topless camp counselors. In which he has one in a sleeping bag, the other one in a sleeping bag, and is beating both of them to death with each other.
Will.
Back to Freddy versus Jason when Freddy kills the stoner and gets high with him, becomes the blunt.
He becomes the caterpillar.
Colin.
Can I admit to being a complete horror pussy? And I went like
Okay.
Is that a new
Okay.
James Bond film like Octopussy?
yeah, like I don't know. I've never been a horror fan, and I've got a really vivid imagination, and that shit stays. So I tend to avoid them.
So just because you're our guest, let me amend the question a little bit. Leaving out the horror element, is there a favorite, like the funniest death in a movie that you can think of?
What was the spoof martial arts movie? That was all pretty funny, wasn't it? What was it called?
Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Yeah, that's the one. There was that one, and there was another one. That was pretty funny. And the first scene in RoboCop's pretty funny when they shoot him to bits. I mean, one would have done, wouldn't it? It just seemed a bit like overkill.
I'm a huge fan of death scenes. I love this question, Paul. Thank you for sending this question but me narrowing down, I'm going to go for the horror movie aspect because if you just give me movies in general, there's so many kills in movies that I absolutely love. Final Destination, it has a whole bunch of them. One of my favorite ones is when the fence post blows up and the guy gets split into thirds by the barbed wire. It's still one of my favorite ones. When the two girls get absolutely barbecued by the tanny booths type thing is still one of my absolutely funniest ones.
The little kid in 2 at the end of Final Destination 2 when they're like, "Oh, your friend saved our son from getting hit by a truck," and then the fucking grill explodes and his arm just lands on the table in front of the mom.
Yep.
I'm
There's that
one
one.
of those people in the theater that when death and things like that happen, I'm laughing. Like in John Wick 4, a guy gets hit by a motorcycle and then Wick like skeets him in the air, just like bam, bam, and I'm just laughing my ass off because it's so fun.
My partner laughs at the scene in Fargo, you know, where they shove the guy into the cement mixer. The wood chipper, not the cement mixer. Yeah, the wood chipper.
Yeah, the wood chipper. That's funny.
there's a whole bunch of them that I can think of, but I think my top one is for comedic value, not my top kill, but my top comedic value is when Jason takes Manhattan. When there's black guy on top of the roof goes to spar with Jason, and Jason just literally knocks his head off, and you can see its head rolling. And it's one of the dumbest scenes, but it's absolutely hysterical.
It's a good one.
And
I'm going to change mine real quick. I'm going to change mine because I just thought of it. I had time now. From Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the shadow on the walls, where the shadow kills I think it's the old couple.
Oh, it's like 5 people. It's a
Yeah.
bunch of people standing at a bus stop.
And the shadow on the wall kills them. That one.
It
that
turns
one's
into
funny.
a T-Rex, and then
Yeah.
it eats all of them.
Yeah.
That one.
But comedic value, any scene in Bad Taste would pretty much, the Peter Jackson film Bad Taste, that would.
it's an intriguing topic. So Paul, thank you for being a part of the Thank You To Review crew. If you want to be part of the Thank You To Review crew, the email, believe it or not, it's the quickest way to find me, is BRACKET TY, the number 2, then R, at yahoo.com. That's also a good way to get on the show. If you want to be a guest on any of the Bastard programs, that's the best way to get a hold of me. Welcome back for the second half of round 1. It looks like Colin starts us off. Colin, is it Russell Brand or Sam Jackson?
That's easy for me.
Well, it would be remiss of me not to say Russell Brand without giving it any thought, to be honest.
I don't know. I personally think that that James Bond could use a little bit more of a motherfucker tap to it. What you saying?
I mean, you're going back to the 70s era of James Bond, aren't you? Where he kind of walks in the room, lifts the woman up, takes her up to the, you know what I mean? You're going back in time, aren't you? I think, yeah, for me, Russell Brand, yeah, right, he's not winning any vote. I think he's a knob. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, that's it. I'm not big enough for him to consider it open war if I call him a knob. You know, like.
No, he's gotten on a lot of people's nerves, and I agree with you. Harley, by the way, is in comments. We appreciate our guests. So, hello, Harley.
Yeah, thanks, Harley.
I'm gonna agree with you though. I'm gonna go with Brand as well, mainly because I think Jackson would do a good role on it. It'd be a Shaft version of Bond. So, like, that's the best way that I can describe that. So, I'm gonna go with Russell Brand as well because I think the guy's a tool. Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm Bond, motherfucker.
That's refreshing.
Bond, motherfucking Bond, James Bond, bitch. Do I look like a bitch to you?
Oh,
Am I motherfucking?
I'm tired of these motherfucking martinis shaking, not stirred. No, sorry.
Not motherfucking stud.
Yes, he deserves to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
I'm gonna go with Russell Brand though.
Brand gets
Again,
a vote.
I would love to see Sam Jackson as a Bond though.
I agree.
It's a genuine shout. That is.
I agree. Steve.
Yeah, Brand's a fucking creep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Just a yaman.
and Will finishes this out.
Lock it up, Brand.
And a sweep.
Sam
Moves on
Jackson
5-0 to the next
awesome.
round. I start this one off. It's either Daniel Radcliffe or my personal favorite in this entire thing, Jelly Roll.
That motherfucker's not even an actor.
He's done music videos. I'm gonna count that.
That doesn't. Oh my god.
Colin, do you know who Jelly Roll is?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because
Yeah.
he's not. I don't think he's really
Thanks for
internationally
Google.
known, but I think it's Google.
Yeah.
There's Google.
I think Daniel Radcliffe could do a decent young Bond. Like if you did a James Bond prequel of him going through some shit, I think there's I don't know what movie it's from, but there's a scene where you see Daniel Radcliffe going crazy with a freaking handgun somewhere, and it's just a random clip, like a not a clip, but like an actual photo of him doing that somewhere on set. And I don't know what it's from, but you can absolutely see Daniel Radcliffe being a young James Bond coming through the ranks of this entire system on how Bond became Bond. So, but in no way in hell do I see Jelly Roll, even though he has lost a shit ton of weight, Jelly Roll playing a James Bond in any kind of sense. So Jelly Roll is going to be getting my particular pick on this one. Kevin, is it Jelly Roll or Daniel Radcliffe?
It's Jelly Roll. I mean, that's not even a question about it.
Gets a vote. Steve.
To paraphrase a Mel Brooks classic, unlike other James Bonds, I can speak with a British accent. And with that, I'll say, shake it high, shake it low, let me see that jelly roll.
For anybody out there not catching that reference, that was Men in Tights,
Mhm.
a movie that has been recasted on the recasting call. Go back and check that one out. That is my co-host Kate's favorite recasting that we've done so far, with the exception of Golden Girls, which is one of the ones that Kevin was on as well when we recasted that one this last month, and should be coming out next Thursday. So
We recast it perfectly too, by the way.
it was fucking great. William, Jelly Roll, Radcliffe.
As much as I don't want to see Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter playing the James Bond, like, is he gonna,
Bond us? James yes.
he could pull it off. I'm gonna go Jelly on this one.
Gets another one, Colin.
I have issues with this one. I've not found this one as easy as you guys, for the simple reason that, as progressive as I am, and I feel we could have a black Bond, we could have a female Bond, whatever, I'm not sure that the franchise is ready for a dweeby little geeky Bond.
Is it ready for an overweight, over tattooed?
That's what I'm thinking too.
Hey!
Well,
He's not overweight.
Therein lies my problem. You know what I mean? Like Jelly Roll, I can see a role in him as the guy that
you can see a couple of roles in him.
I hate to paraphrase Talladega Nights, but you realize he's a grown man now.
Yeah, but listen, I'm right. I can see him playing a character that Bond hands off to then torture. Do you know what I mean? Like, but this one was tough. But
all you see is James Bond going, "I'm gonna run at the wall now." And
yeah, and I'm gonna get you with my magic wand. It just no, like it has to be Daniel Radcliffe, right, as the better Bond of the two, right? But it's begrudging, and I want that registry, please.
But I don't want it.
Recast Bunny is his counterpart. Who would want to see Bunny?
I would, if Daniel Radcliffe ever did play like a James Bond, like an early James Bond, have him do like a kill scene at King's Cross Station, just to kind of put those in the same universe.
See, if you're gonna put Daniel Radcliffe in any type of role, you remake Austin Powers, and then you make Daniel Radcliffe Austin Powers,
and then you can make Jelly Roll Fat Bastard. So
yeah, but I could see Jelly Roll playing the bad guy's henchman in a James Bond film.
Yeah,
give him that entire metal hat, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but I definitely begrudge it, gentlemen. But yeah, Jelly Roll.
Who is the henchman? Who is the evil henchman?
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my henchman, Mr. Jelly Roll.
All right. Kevin starts us off. Yeah. Jelly Roll moves on 5-0 to the next round. Kevin starts us off. Is it Brian Blessed or Danny DeVito?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh my
Danny
God.
DeVito. Danny DeVito, yeah. I mean,
my God.
no one wants to see a thumb in blue shorts coming out of the water.
No, man.
I mean, I've seen pictures of Brian Bless too. That
Or
you're not
Mario.
getting either one on that one.
Uh,
I don't want to see him coming out of the water in a blue speedo either. So
Although I would like to see him do the scene in Casino. Is it which I can't where he runs across the cranes? You know, is it Casino Royale where he does the chase? Watching Danny DeVito do that would be quite funny.
His little legs.
Yeah.
either way, Danny DeVito gets that particular vote. Steve, is it DeVito or Blessed?
Brian Blessed?
Yep.
I have no. Let me.
Pictures in chat.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at him right now on Google.
Can I fill in some more info for you, Steve? Very loud, that Shakespearean style actor.
I can see that. Okay, 100%. Yeah, I'll go DeVito just because this guy he looks like a manly man. And it's about time that James Bond had a huge fucking beard. He's got to paraphrase Hot Fuzz, he's got a great big bushy beard. So I'm gonna say DeVito because God bless Brian Blessed.
I think that's only the second time in like 170 some episodes that Hot Fuzz has been mentioned on this show.
It's a great film, great director.
Danny DeVito gets to vote off of that one. William DeVito, Blessed.
DeVito all day. All day. Come on. Who wouldn't want to see Penguin as James Bond?
I mean, he's good. He does look good in a tuxedo. Colin.
They'd both be awful James Bonds. Like is it possible to vote for both of them? You know, like if I've got to vote for one, then Brian Blessed gets it only because he's English. So I'd have to go Danny DeVito.
I'm gonna ruin the sweep on this one. I'm gonna go for Brian. Danny DeVito, like Danny.
You are not saying Danny DeVito can pull off a Bond.
We just said.
It's not.
I think Danny DeVito would stand out less than Blessed would.
You would definitely know he had a stunt double.
It's the scene though where DeVito is with the villain and he goes, "Well, could be worse." And the villain's like, "What do you mean could be worse? My nose could be gushing blood."
Or the scene where he's puffing and panting as he undresses and climbs on the bed.
Or it's just him in the single and I'm the trash man. It's my secret. It's my secret identity.
DeVito with that moves on 4-1 to the next round. Steve starts us off. Steve, is it Mr. Bean? Played by
Rowan Atkinson.
There you go, Rowan Atkinson, or John C. Reilly.
Oh no! Don't do this to me! Don't do this to me! I'm gonna pass the parcel. I can't possibly answer that. You take two great actors. Neither of them would be bad. Neither of them would be bad. They'd both be good. I love both of them.
All right, vote's going to go to John C. Reilly on this one. Coming in at 14th place, Mr. Bean leaves us at 24th.
John C. Reilly. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm John C. Reilly.
That is actually pretty fucking good. John C. Reilly gets that vote. Will. Shit.
This be James Bond just not speaking. If it was Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. We've made this movie. It's called Johnny English.
Yep.
Johnny English. They've made this movie.
Fuck. This one's hard, man. This one's really hard.
That's what she said.
Nah, not really. It's cold up here. I'd have to go John C. Reilly. I really would. I'd have to go John C. Reilly on this one too.
Bond, James Bond. Like, what's going on, guys? I'm just here for a fun time.
Mr. Bean would pull that off too well, though. He would.
I think he would too.
Just...
Colin,
So it's Mr. Bean as Mr. Bean playing Bond, or is it Rowan Atkinson?
I would. They suggested Mr. Bean. They didn't write
But I
down.
think Mr. Bean as Bond would be something to behold. That would be fucking hilarious. Like,
Bond,
you
James
could
Bond.
make it would just be great. But
I'm weaning.
I'm weaning.
It-
I'm losing.
it
It's
has to
same
be
actor.
Mr. Bean would be a worse Bond than John C. Reilly.
Bond, James Bond.
It's not as bad as no words, is it? Mr. Bean doesn't speak.
Very, very. He speaks very little.
You don't need James Bond to talk. You're good. Actions speak louder than words.
I respect both of these actors for their acting ability. I really do. But you know what? I'm gonna go Mr. Bean on here because I'm gonna give Kevin the tie breaking decision just to fuck with the show. Kevin, during the second half of part of these things, we have the ability for the tie breaking decision gets to know who's facing in the next round. Do you want to know who they're facing in the next round?
Yeah, I kind of want to know now. Yeah.
It's either Mr. Bean or John C. Reilly will be facing Dr. Ken in round 2.
Just because I want to see the matchup, Mr. Bean.
And that's why we have that rule. Mr. Bean moves on 3-2 to the next round. Next up, William starts us off. Is it Seth Rogen or Adam Sandberg?
Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen. He could. Oh my god. He'd
Have
be
you,
so
not
stoned.
seen, have you not seen the Green Hornet? Will, get the fuck out of here.
He was terrible in that. What are you talking about?
Actually, he's terrible in most movies that he does, so that's not saying much.
Guys, I'm Bond. James Bond.
I lasted 5 seconds. It's the longest I've ever lasted.
Colin, is it Seth Rogen or Adam
Ironically,
Sandberg?
it's Seth Rogen because I still remember the Green Hornet.
You gonna die over there, Steve?
I think,
I'm fine.
I think Seth Rogen all day.
Seth Rogen gets another one. I'm gonna go with Sandberg on this one, mainly because I just don't like the guy. Kevin?
Yeah, I cannot stand Sandberg
I was
and
gonna,
his box.
I was gonna say Sandberg, and then you guys both voted Sandberg, so I'm gonna say.
Well, before you do that, please remember, just like Kevin had in the previous matchup, you have the ability to know who is facing in the next round.
All right. So who would they be facing in the next round?
It's either Adam Sandberg or Seth Rogen will be facing Adam Devine.
And so whoever, I'm going to pick Rogan to go on to against Adam Devine.
Seth Rogen moves on 3-2, faces another 3-2 in the next round. Colin starts us off. Is it Steve Carell or Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart. Bond, James Bond.
Yeah.
For anybody out there not watching the show, like Colin's facial expressions when he heard that was he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Kevin Hart. Yeah. I think that'd be like it'd be the first Bond movie I've never been to see.
Kevin Hart gets his vote.
I think
Just comes up short.
For me, Kevin Hart is the worst so far.
Well, I let's say according to the audience, Jelly Rolls is the worst one.
Oh, sorry, second worst. I apologize. Yeah, you are right. Second worst.
And actually, take that back. According to the audience, Kevin Hart's third worst. Came in second place in the bracket, but as far as points go, Kevin Hart is 1 point behind Danny DeVito. So,
I think
and
he's
that
my yeah.
I'm gonna go for Kevin Hart as well, just because if I remember right, Steve Carell was in the movie Get Smart.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done the spy role in the past and didn't.
Where he plays Agent 86. 86 meaning like get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna go for Kevin Hart on this one. Kevin Hart or Steve Carell.
I think Carell could pull it off. I think he could. So it's got to be Kevin Hart because no, he's not ready.
Steve.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's a sweep because I think Steve Carell would actually be an amazing like James Bond because like yeah, Steve. So it's Kevin Hart.
Moves on 5-0, faces a 4-1 in the next round. Although
I don't think I voted there.
I was about to say that. I didn't cross off Collins' name as he voted. So, William, is it Kevin Hart or Steve Carell?
Steve Carell, just because I wanted to fuck this whole thing up.
It's all right. Kevin Hart moves on 4-1, faces a 4-1 in the next round. I start this one off. It's either going to be Bert Kreischer or Mr. Beast.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God!
Jesus Christ!
I mean, Bert Kreischer's machine story, I think, is enough to prove that he'd make a decent spy.
At least for the Russians.
At least for the Russians. Which, I mean, Blonde faces a lot of Russians, so you gotta give him that. I think Mr. Beast would stand out way too much. So I think he would be the worst one out of these two. Mr. Beast gets my particular vote. Kevin, is it Mr. Beast or Bert Kreischer?
I'm going Bert Kreischer because at some point in the movie, for no reason at all, he's going to just take off his shirt.
Yeah, he's James Bond. Of course, he's gonna take his shirt off.
Yeah, but it's Bert Kreischer. Yeah, I'm talking about.
I want to see
no
You already
reason.
know what you're getting with him, though, Kevin.
I'm going Bert.
Oh,
Bert gets a vote. Steve?
I'm going Beast because I want to see Kreischer walk out of the water in a blue thong.
You could probably see that in a show.
No, really, yeah, no, but he did a movie about the story in Russia called The Machine.
Yeah,
and he like fights in that fucking movie. He fucking gets his spoiler alert. He gets his fist stuck in someone's throat. Like it's amazing. Like it's great. It's great. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna not be Kreischer because I'd want to see that.
Oh my God.
Well,
Mr. Beast is going to pay somebody. Don't cross this red line, otherwise you don't get your $1 million.
Or you don't get to sleep with me.
Yeah. I have to go Mr. Beast. Bert, I got to see Bert. 100% Steve, I'm with you. I got to see Bert. I already know what I'm getting.
and Colin, finish this out.
I think it has to be Mr. Beast because that's going to be the shortest movie in it. It's going to be that opening sequence where he normally blows up the bad guy's lair, and it's going to be a little fucking YouTube dude, isn't it? Getting the shit kicked out of him by 4 Russians, and that movie's going to be over in like 3.5 minutes. You know what I mean? Bond's first day. You know
I
what I mean?
want to see that movie, but replace the YouTuber with Logan Paul getting beat up by 4 Russians, and then I'd pay to see that.
Why stop at 4?
I wouldn't go. I'm a wrestling fan, so I can't go with Paul on this one because his skills are nuts.
You mean how he just copy pasted everything from Adam Page? Cool.
That's just one move. Like I'm yet to see Page go rope to rope and nail. Although I mean Ricochet is in AEW now, so it's possible to do that entire midair collision type thing. He is in the chamber this week, and I can't wait to see what he does because he's a fucking spot monkey. And
I can't wait to see him when they go on tour in Japan. That's what I'm waiting for.
well, he also got he's banned from going to Egypt now.
Oh, cool.
So
Can't
That's
wait to
not
see
good.
him on the Saudi Arabia show. See what he does there.
that's not going to help. But no, there's other YouTubers I'd much rather see get their ass kicked by Russians, but that one.
100%.
That's a different podcast.
That's a different draft. That's a different draft.
Anyway, last up, Kevin starts us off. Kevin, is it Jonah Hill or Michael Cera?
Two great choices here. I don't.
The stars of Superbad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Sarah. No real reason.
Sarah gets a
Just-
vote. Steve,
I've had a stance my entire life, and no matter how good of a performance he gives, it will never change. I cannot stand Jonah Hill because every movie that he did for like his first 4 or 5 roles is just him as like this fat guy, and he puts his hands out, and this is what he does, and he speaks real loud, and that's Jonah Hill. So like 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, funny, but it's Scott Pilgrim we're talking about, and I've already seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World, so
Is
I
that
might
a
as well,
stain?
so I might as well just call this James Bond. Yeah, I caught the Superbad reference there.
She peered it on my pants. She peered it on my pants.
Cry every night for you. Sorry, that's
Will?
a Superbad reference.
Jonah Hill, hands down. Scott Pilgrim. He can do it. He can pull it off.
Colin.
Like it's a toss of a coin, really. I think they'd both be bang average Bonds at best, innit? You know, like Michael Cera gets my vote, I think.
Boo.
Sarah
Sorry.
moves on 3-2, faces another 3-2. I would have gone with Jonah Hill on that one. Acting ability aside, I actually have I have more respect for him than I did a couple of years ago because due to his ability to stand up for himself. And I'm not going to divulge into that because that will take fucking forever. So, Sarah moves on 3-2 to the next round. We'll be right back right after this break. All right. Kevin is a full-time bastard, so we're not going to worry about him at this current time. So, Will, you said you did not have a podcast to promote?
No, I don't have anything.
Not anything at all? Okay, so Colin and Steve, this is your ability to promote shows. I'm going to give you whatever time that you need to take. Sound good?
Yeah, man, yeah.
All right. We have a couple of cool guests this week. We're going to start off with Steve. Steve's been on a bastard program before. He was on the Central Booking episode at least one time. He's going to be back because I guarantee you we left an impression on him because he definitely left an impression on us. And court appearances are still pending. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Do you like movies from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and thousands? If so, come check out Back to the Retro Review, available on YouTube or where all major podcast outlets are providing. That's Back to the Retro Review. And if you happen to like movies from the 80s, 90s, and thousands and want to hear interviews with stars, check out The Last Podcast You'd Want, where I've had such stars from the 80s as Diane Franklin. I've had stars from the 90s. I've had 3 children from School of Rock and 3 people from Jackass. That's The Last Podcast You'd Want, available on YouTube and all major episodes on major podcast outlets. Tip the veal, try the staff. Thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
And of course, being an American show, we like to have people from across the world. Colin fills that spot. Colin fills that particular spot this week. So, Colin, how you doing?
I'm all right, matey. I do a podcast out there every 2 weeks. It's called Colin in Conversation, and I talk to a variety of folk. I play it quite straight, if I'm honest. I know I'm a comedian, but it's quite a straight podcast, I guess. But we talk to retired GPs, world class 80s DJs, comedians, and Paralympians. And we just talk about people that are doing interesting stuff. And I think if I find it interesting, I think maybe the listeners will find it interesting. And we have a little bit of a chat. So I've lined up the next one is going to be 40-minute discussion with a bomb disposal expert. So I'm hoping we've got some interesting stuff will come out of that discussion. I'm recording that tomorrow, actually. But you can find me on all bloody platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, all of them. It's called Colin in Conversation. There's 6 down, so get them, check them out. Also, socials, Comic Colin 78 on all socials, and you'll see the other stuff we do. I also run online comedy shows sporadically, so just keep an eye, check it out.
There you go. My comments were not working for a second there.
Colin, I just followed you on Instagram.
I shall return the favor when I pick my phone up.
No worries.
Welcome back, everybody, for this second round of this. Steve starts us off. Steve, is it Jack Black or Russell Brand? Both of these are 5-0 in the previous round.
Oh, that's easy. It's Russell Brand. He's a complete, as Colin said, a complete knob.
There's a dirty joke there, and I'm not touching Russell Brand's knob. Will, is it Russell Brand or Jack Black?
Ooh. I still have to go Jack Black on this. I'm not a fan of him. Never been.
I am going to vote Jack Black, right? And listen, as much as I hate Russell Brand and think he's a douchebag, if we vote clever here, we can have him out of the game. And we don't have to give him any more airtime. So I'm going Jack Black.
I'm gonna agree with Colin on this one. Not for that particular point. I think the accent alone would help them playing Bond. I don't think Jack Black, Steve's impression has helped considerably in this entire situation. I don't think Jack Black's. I don't know if he can even do a British accent or even attempt to do a British accent. I'm pretty sure if he does, he's going to offend at least 500 million people on this planet. So I'm going to go with Jack Black on this one. Kevin, is it Jack Black or Russell Brand?
I too am going to go Jack the Black.
Can I just say that as a bearded, white, long-haired comedian, Russell Brand's made it hard for us.
I don't really care about people's religious affiliations type thing, but Russell Brand was an atheist for the longest time, and he spoke eloquently and everything else about it, and I appreciated that. And now he's gone to such a Bible thumper type thing.
He's Kanye West, man.
Yeah, it ticked me off.
I don't think he's going that hard. I don't think he's going that
Just give him time. Just give him time.
He was christened by Bear Grylls, wasn't he? Genuinely, he was christened by Bear Grylls. Genuinely, yeah.
The guy's a douche, though, and I'm pretty sure he's on a couple of watch lists across the planet.
That's why he won't come back over to the States.
Right. But he's out the game now, so fuck him.
Yep. Will, starts us off. It's the battle of the Dannys. Is it Danny Trejo or Danny DeVito?
Oh my God.
Oh. I'm going to have to pass the parcel on this one. I can't.
Pass the parcel.
If it's sorry.
As I said before, Danny DeVito ended up getting second place as far as the audience goes. So it's going to go to DeVito. Trejo is all the way down in 13th place. So Danny DeVito gets that particular vote. Colin?
Like if it's Danny Trejo with the knife from Desperado, like he's
That's
not.
him.
He's gonna be the strong and silent type Bond, isn't he? But I still think he'd be a better Bond than Danny DeVito. I think DeVito gets it for me.
I'm gonna.
It's on. Your turn now.
Okay, there's two different wolves fighting in my head right now because I think Trejo would do the better like action movie type fighter Bond, but DeVito I think would be a better spy because a lot of spy work isn't fighting; it's being not seen. Like James Bond is one of the worst spies because everybody knows who James Bond is. So James Bond does the "Hey, look at me" type thing, while other spies go out there and actually do the spy type stuff. So Danny Trejo and Danny DeVito as a team, I think, would work wonders.
I'd
But
watch that movie. I would watch that movie. You could
I'd
call it.
invest in that movie.
You'd call it 007 and a half.
The reboots.
I'm gonna so as a team effort on here, I'm going to fuck up the sweep. I'm gonna go with Trejo, just for shits and giggles. Kevin, is it Danny Trejo or Danny DeVito?
It's got to be DeVito. I mean, he'd be the worst Bond. He's always eating Jersey Mike subs and everything. So yeah, it's DeVito.
I mean, Jersey Mike's got
fish.
to mean sub, so
Yeah, it
I
does.
got to give him that. Steve, finish
They
up.
100% would just do a thing where Bond is at a thing and he'd be like, "Oh, let me get one of those Jersey Mike sandwiches they had." So it's DeVito. It's DeVito.
Oh my god.
Like I said, fucking up the sweep. DeVito moves on 4-1 to the next round. Colin starts us off. Colin, is it Seth Rogen or Adam Devine? I think that's the first raspberry that we've ever had on this show.
Yeah, I think they both potentially do a very different but reasonable job. Plucking a. I think Seth Rogen would be the better Bond. So Adam Devine.
Gets a vote. I think Seth Rogen would stand out more, which is what James Bond does. As the entire duo type thing between. I think that's how I'm going to do this. Between every matchup we have for now on, I'm just going to do who would be the better in that partnership, who would stand out more, who would be the better Bond-ish instead of being the better spy. So I think Seth Rogen would be the better Bond.
Yeah.
Because he would stand out more and cause more of the attention to go to him. I think Devine could absolutely be the better spy and sneak into the background. So Devine gets my vote. Kevin.
Divine would be the worst one because he's a beady-eyed little. I
think Devine would be a good villain, but
what did Adam Devine do?
I do not like his. I don't like his comedy. I don't like his looks. I don't like anything about the guy.
Did he
I
just
think he
hit
looks.
on your mama one time? Like I don't
know what it is.
How
he's
could
one
you
of
not
those.
like him? He did Pitch Perfect perfect.
He's one of those. He's one of those people that I can look at and be like, I don't like you.
You're right now. You're just what's his name in Step Brothers. I don't know what it is about your face.
Yes.
Every time I see it,
I want to punch his face.
He has a slightly kickable face, doesn't he? Adam Devine. Yeah.
Just want to thump him in his forehead.
Yeah. I do see that, yeah.
Steve?
It's Adam Devine because I think Seth Rogen would be the better of the James Bond. So it's Adam.
I would love to see that laugh in a James Bond movie.
Oh God, he'd stand up. Oh my God. I'm going Seth Rogen. I still can't stand him. Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen just be like, "Excuse me, ladies," and then he just pulls out a bong. And
yeah. He's too high to finish the mission. I was supposed to do something.
Where'd I put that microfiche?
Adam Devine moves on 4-1 to the next round. I start this one off. It's either going to be Mr. Beast or David Spade.
Oh my,
As
my
I
God.
don't think your theory's working out here, buddy.
no, it does. It does because I think Mr. Beast would take the attention like Bond would, so the better spy would be Spade. But I don't even think Spade could be a spy. Like I don't even think he could do that. So I think
Wasn't that
Spade
special?
fucks up both scenarios. So I'm gonna go with Spade on this one. Kevin, Spade or Beast?
Call a spade a spade.
Steve,
Beast. I'd
What?
rather see Spade.
William.
I still can't see him paying off somebody. I'd have to go Spade too. I mean, honestly, there's no other way to put it.
And Colin, finish this out.
I love Bond. Like I've grown up with it. I love Bond, and asking me to choose between them two as Bond is a little bit like asking me whether I'd like to be kicked in the bollocks or punched in the face.
Punched in the face.
Yeah,
You know what I
Spade.
mean? Like,
Punched in the face.
okay, if it's punched in the face, then I don't ever want to see fucking Spade in that tuxedo, man. Done.
4-1. Spade moves on to the next round. Next up, Kevin starts us off. Is it Robert De Niro or Jelly Roll?
Oh.
My question is like, because you keep bringing this up, which one do you want to see more in a blue Speedo?
Are you wearing bottoms?
Wow.
No.
How many people would have to help Jelly Roll into that Speedo?
God,
8, I think.
Jelly
And
Roll.
and
Jelly
some
Roll
grease.
would be the worst Bond.
Jelly Roll gives a vote. Steve?
Yeah, Jelly Roll, hands down. It's Jelly Roll.
Will?
I can't. You got me on the blue Speedo thing right now. Hold on.
Sorry for your nightmares there, sir.
Yes, yeah, it didn't happen. I mean, if it's bunny, I'm all for it. I still gotta go Jelly on that one. Yeah.
My mind is, what was the first choice? Because all I can see is fucking Jelly Roll in a Speedo. What was the other option?
I kind of feel bad, man. I'm gonna start like some kind of international bullshit now because Jelly Roll in a Speedo. It's either Jelly Roll or Robert De Niro, which I think is just as bad in a Speedo, but
Do you know
That
there
should be
is there is a tiny little bit of me that would like to see a De Niro Bond. There is a tiny, tiny piece of me, so it has to be bloody jelly rolled, doesn't it?
I wouldn't mind seeing De Niro like. Remember like the Men in Black movies where they had Agent J and K,
Yeah.
where K was like the old older one. Imagine Robert De Niro playing like the retiring version of James Bond.
What, James Bond, the pension days?
Yeah, like,
Senior citizens.
Retirement Bond.
Right.
Or-
65.
And folks, when you talk about the show online, please make sure you use the hashtag Jelly Roll in a Speedo.
Oh, mate. Jelly Roll in a Speed. That almost sounds like a campaign.
That's the name of my next band, Jelly Roll in a Speedo.
sounds pretty nutty to me. Jelly Roll moves on 5-0 to the next round.
Dun, dun.
What can I say? I like peanuts.
Steve starts us off. Is it Mr. Bean? And we have concluded this is Mr. Bean, not the
Rowan
person
Atkinson.
playing Mr. Bean. So it's Mr. Bean or Dr. Ken.
It's going to be Dr. Ken.
gets a vote. Will.
Dr. Ken. You fucked up,
Colin.
Steve.
I broke Kevin too.
I don't want to see Mr. Bean as Bond. It has to be Mr. Bean. Has to be Mr. Bean. I'm sorry to book with convention.
I'm
Johnny
gonna pass.
English is one of the worst English movies ever made.
Yeah.
You're a dick, Steve.
Not the first time that's been said, not the last time. Oh,
I'm gonna go with Mr. Bean to force the tie-breaking decision onto Kevin. Kevin, do you want to know who he's facing in the next round?
No, it's Bane.
It's Mr. Bean.
Bane.
oh,
Bean. Mr. Bean.
Bean.
All right, 3-2 faces a 4-1 in the next round.
Mr. Bean.
William. Will starts us off on this one. Is it Seth MacFarlane or Kevin Hart?
Ooh.
And I think we've concluded it'd be Seth MacFarlane and Stewie.
Okay.
That's the only British.
Ooh.
I think it's the only real British character that Seth MacFarlane has.
Then I gotta go with Kevin Hart for doing it that way. Well, I'll have to go with Kevin Hart on that one.
Kevin Hart gets a vote. Colin, Kevin Hart or Seth MacFarlane?
You see, I thought Seth MacFarlane could do it, but if he's doing it as Stewie, then that's horrendous. Like Seth MacFarlane's, but Kevin Hart was my least favourite already. Like, I'm in a bit of a quandary here, lad.
It's a bit of a quagmire, if you will.
A quagmire, yes.
Yeah,
I was trying to avoid that, if I'm honest. I think as much as I would hate to see, I really would hate to see a Kevin Hart.
Oh.
I
have to go with Kevin Hart being the worst of those two options.
I'm gonna go with Seth MacFarlane on this one. I think having Seth MacFarlane as Bond would cause World War III. I really do. I think Seth MacFarlane would make such an ass out of him because Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart could play a serious enough role that he could do it. The only serious role that I've ever seen Seth MacFarlane play is he kind of did the first couple episodes of the Orville. He actually played kind of the serious role as the captain until they realized it was a comedy. Then he started doing a comedy type thing. But so yeah, I think Seth MacFarlane would be the worst Bond out of Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart's actually done some spy stuff in the past. So
Central Intelligence.
Yeah, Central Intelligence. So he has at least a spy movie history a little bit. So
can I change my mind now? You've convinced me.
Yeah. Oh, all votes are live until the last person votes. Once the last person votes, that's when it's done. So,
yeah,
so there's that. Kevin Hart or Seth MacFarlane? You're on mute, sir.
Kevin Hart.
There you go. At least it wasn't coming through on my end. Tie-breaking decision coming down to Steve. Steve, do you want to know who he's facing in the next round?
No, I'm good on that. I'm going to go with Seth MacFarlane. Because I would actually kind of like to see Kevin Hart as James Bond. I think it'd be funny. The way he wobbles his head. Talking to the bad guy.
So you're saying you want to see Kevin Hart in a blue Speedo?
100%.
Are you saying you want to see Seth MacFarlane in a blue Speedo then? Because, like,
it's Stewie.
There's questions, sir.
Yeah.
MacFarlane moves on 4-2 to the next round.
Don't I look good? Don't I look good?
We're gonna have a sexy party.
Would you like me to put some Cool Whip on my?
I mean, technically, we've seen Stewie in a Speedo already, so you're all good there.
Colin, finishes out round two on starts out the last match of round two. Is it Danny McBride or Michael Cera?
I think Sarah would be the better Bond. Yeah, I think it'd be Danny McBride.
McBride gets a vote. I think McBride would do better at the physical aspects than Sarah would. I do agree with the entire Scott Pilgrim type analogy, but he's a scrawny little pissant, and I don't think that would work well in a Bond movie. So I think Sarah would be the worst one of the two. And I think McBride would be the one causing the most trouble to focus on him. So Sarah would be the worst one of those two. Kevin, Sarah, McBride.
I'm going to still a vote simply because I can. I am going to go. I'm going to still Will's vote. I am going to go with Danny McBride.
That's who I was voting for, anyways. You didn't steal shit.
All right. Steve, finish this out. Is it Danny McBride or Michael Cera?
Danny McBride, because I'd rather see Michael Cera in a blue Speedo.
I think that's what it's going to come down to, isn't it, for the next round?
That's what it's been for the last 20 rounds for me.
Yeah.
Who I'd rather see in a Speedo. It's not even who I'd rather. It's not who would be a better spy. Who do I want to see in a Speedo? That's all it comes down.
I think the correct way to word that is who would you rather not see in a blue Speedo?
I want to know what kind of banana Michael Cera's packing. And that's
he is a skinny white dude. That's usually the ones that can't fit in it. So
that's an Arrested Development bit because he worked at a banana stand. The family business had a banana stand. Arrested Development, don't worry.
Danny McBride moves on to the next round. I'll be right back right after this break. All right.
Do you have a problem with your colon? Do you have an issue going to the bathroom at night? Try Colon Blow. Makes you regular on the daily.
Before we get to Kevin and myself add on this one, everybody has loads to blow. Nobody's done that yet. Steal a vote. Everybody but Kevin has steal a vote. These next four matchups are the last time to use those. And myself and Steve haven't passed a parcel either. And these next four matchups are the last time to do that as well.
I used my pass in the parcel.
Did you?
Yeah, I used it on I forget who I used it on. John, whoever the first round with John C. Reilly, whoever John C. Reilly went up against.
Mr. Bean.
I passed on one as well, didn't I? I think, or
yeah, that was passed. So I'm the only one who hasn't passed a parcel. All of my lifelines are all in left. Kevin, you just have blown a load. Steve, William, and Colin, you all have stealing a load and load.
Stealing a load.
Stealing a load. I never want to steal a load.
Remind me what blowing my load is.
All right.
What happened?
Thank you,
Steve. Some alone time.
Let me finish what I was saying. I have all three lifelines. Kevin, you have blowing a load. Steve, William, and Colin, you have steal a vote and blowing a load. To answer Colin, what blowing a load is, if you're one of the first people to go and do not want to be one of the first people to go, you can blow your load. It means you're going last. That goes all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah.
However, steal a vote, these next four matchups are the last time to use the steal a vote.
Yeah.
And pass the parcel for myself because I'm the only one who hasn't done that yet. So, all right. Kevin, what you been up to?
Oh man, other than being on Bracket Bastards, I am on the Mod Squad network where we have a horror show, a gamer show, a movie show, a conversation show where we interview YouTube personalities, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. I'm also on Back to the Retro Review with Steve, where we review movies from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I also do budget podcasting gear reviews and have a budget podcasting show that goes live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And of course, I'm your host, Freddie Fisher. I not only host this show, but I host 4 other shows. Number one, of course, is the Recasting Call, where we take old movies and add some new favorites. The last ones that we've done. The last one we did was recasting the TV show Golden Girls. It's the only TV show we've ever done. May do it in the next one. Next time, we're recasting Star Wars and Spaceballs, and the month after that one. Bastards Backstage, where we get some guests. We get previous guests on the show, and I get a one-on-one conversation with them. 20 questions, millions of answers. Central Booking is the Bracket Bastard version of a wrestling podcast. This is not a review show. This is a wrestling think tank type thing. And of course, last up, we have the show Versus, where we have 2 guests, have a draft episode, and that turns into a Sweet 16 bracket tournament between those 2 people, and we come out a winner. I will be recording all of those episodes before any of them get released. So it's going to be a special sometime this summer. If it goes well, I'm going to find a host for it, and we'll have a new show. So there's that. Welcome back for round 3 and beyond. It looks like I can't remember who started that one off. I know William was supposed to finish it, so Colin started that one off. So I start this one off. Welcome back for round 3 and beyond. It looks like I start this one off, and it's going to be either Jack Black or Jelly Roll. I see. This is where my thing doesn't work, because I think they both suck. I think Jack Black would do better at the physical elements of it, but I don't know who would be a bigger distraction at this point.
Jelly Roll. I'm just gonna throw for the mercy of the court, because I haven't mentioned this at all. But like he's a big old southern boy, and I don't think for a second that he right there could like properly just suddenly just start speaking with a British accent and be like, "Hello, my name is Jelly Roll. I'm James Bond. How are you doing today?"
Well, I don't think Jack Black could do it though either.
No.
I think Jack Black would be better.
So no, yeah.
But that's just
Are you going away from the blue speedo then?
Yeah.
I'd rather
Which
see
one?
Jack Black
Which
in a
one
blue
do you
Speedo.
want to see in a blue
I'd rather
speedo?
see Jack Black.
Again, which one would you rather not see in a blue Speedo?
Both of the fuckers.
I'm going to ask the audience who they would rather not see in a blue Speedo, and between looks like Jelly Roll or Jack Black. Jack Black is going to be leaving us. I know Jelly Roll got the top spot, so Jack Black ended up getting 17th place in this entire thing. By the way, there were 830 votes this week for votes. So there's that one. Jelly Roll gets the audience vote off that one, which means my pass to partial is finally off the board. Kevin, you only have loads to blow at this point. Jack Black, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. Yeah, I think Jack Black has more acting skills to where he could pull it off more than Jelly Roll could.
You take a lot of coaching. Steve.
Shake it high, shake it low. Let me see that Jelly Roll.
Well,
Jelly's going to sing song for the underdogs. Jack Black's going to teach them. I have to go Jelly on this one.
Colin.
Well, I was prepared to steal votes to push this one over the edge, but I think I'm gonna, because it doesn't matter. I'm going Jack Black just because it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, it does matter in a small case, because
Yes, I
Jelly
know
Roll,
exactly what case.
Jelly Roll was the last option for what we call a bukkake, not bukkake episode, for a pearl necklace on this show. He was the only one not to get a vote. The Jack Black vote was the first one. that Jelly Roll got a vote against. Jelly Roll moves on 4-1 to the next round. Kevin starts us off. Kevin was so disappointed.
I was.
Imagine Jelly Roll getting a pearl necklace, man.
No, I'd rather not.
In a Speedo.
And a Speedo, man. Bright blue Speedo coming out of the pool.
Man, just do it like I got a tattoo right here on my neckline, so just like aim it up right there, okay?
Kevin, is it Adam Devine or Seth MacFarlane?
Adam Devine.
Don't he's
with
like,
pure
don't like the guy,
hatred.
fuck him.
With pure hatred, yes.
Steve, Adam Devine, Seth MacFarlane.
Adam Devine.
Gets another one. Will.
Divine.
Colin.
Divine, but adding that as a divine, can I just say you lot just hated the fuck out of Seth MacFarlane, and then so do we just hate Adam Devine more?
I'd rather see Seth MacFarlane in a Speedo.
Divine, but yeah.
I'm gonna go Seth MacFarlane on this one. I think he would make the worst one. Again, World War III. It's a good way to start that.
Also,
Adam
I'm pretty
Devine.
sure I've seen Divine in a Speedo. I'm pretty sure he does that on an episode of Workaholics.
And one more reason for me not to watch that show. Steve starts us off. Is it Mr. Bean or Danny DeVito?
I'm gonna steal the vote. No, I'm just kidding. There's no vote to steal. Danny DeVito, because I'd rather see Rowan Atkinson in a blue Speedo.
Will?
I am going to steal the vote, and I'm going to say Kevin's vote. And who the hell were they picking again?
It's either Danny DeVito or Mr. Bean.
Oh, Danny DeVito all day.
That would have been my choice. So.
Colin.
Damn it, Will.
Can I steal Kevin's vote?
Nope.
No.
Kevin's
No.
vote has already been stolen. The only one to steal would be mine.
They've already got me on the numbers. I really don't want to see Bean as Bond, man. Like bastard.
The only way to do that is because since the last person to vote would be for me, unless you steal my vote, would be to change. Would be the ability to change somebody else's vote who's already voted. So if you have something to say about Mr. Bean not playing Bond,
Like it's Mr. fucking Bean. Use your this is the most iconic character that we have as an Englishman, right? I'm playing the Englishman card, right? And you can't anyone but Mr. Bean.
Okay, in respect to England, and in respect to one of my favorite TV shows being from England and me loving Mr. Bean, I will bid you. I will change my vote.
Amazing. So we've got 2 for Bean.
Can you flick it?
Well,
you know how I was talking about starting World War III?
This is a bastard podcast.
Danny DeVito moves on 3-2.
fuck you, Frankie.
That was worth it. Although, to be perfectly honest, either having Mr. Bean or DeVito move on, it's going to be a hard press for them to win the next round anyway. But I think this matchup it goes more with the audience vote, and I try to respect the audience as much as possible. So, Will, this is the last time for Colin, Steve, or myself to steal a vote. Well, I'm sorry, Colin just did that. So, Steve, did you steal a vote or not? I don't think you did.
No.
Okay, so last time for Steve or myself to steal a vote. Steve is going last, however, unless somebody blows their load. So So keep that in mind.
Well, I'm gonna blow my load and steal the vote at the same time.
Are you gonna
I
flick
mean-
your beam while doing it?
Team Joe Green.
I would love
and
to
now a
see
taste
it.
of things to come.
Not touching that. Will, is it David Spade or Danny McBride?
David Spade.
Spade gets a vote. Colin.
David Spade. It's tough, but yeah, David Spade. He's the squeaky little twat bag.
I just can't get grown-ups out of my head. Lick his bicep. Lick his bicep.
I'm going to steal a vote. Steve, I have a habit of stealing guest votes as much as possible, and everybody else has voted. So I'm going to be stealing your vote. We will be going for Danny McBride on this situation, which means a tie-breaking decision coming down to Kevin.
You already said it, Kevin.
I did?
Call a spade a spade.
This is a bastard podcast.
Do you want to know who is this would
No,
reveal the
I
final
want a
four?
surprise. I want it as a surprise. So, yeah, who I think would make a worst Bond? It would be David Spade. It would be David Spade. He does not have the stature at all.
Lick his bicep. Lick his bicep.
And
At
again,
least
I
Danny
wouldn't mind
McBride-
seeing Danny McBride as Bond. I think he'd,
It's
Yeah.
I said at the beginning, Kenny Powers is James Bond.
or at least a spy of some sort, not Bond, but like as a spy.
Plus, I do want to see Bond with a mullet. So,
And a blue Speedo.
yeah.
I think you just want to see these people in blue speedos. I don't.
I said that like 20 minutes ago. That's been
No, but I think you actually do. I think you're going. It's like
He's Googling it while on the show. What are you talking about?
AI is just not working
everybody
for me
has
anymore.
their kink. All right.
Yeah,
And we don't kink shame on this show, at least publicly. So
Hey, folks, don't
At
send me
least
Speedos,
publicly.
by the way. Please don't send me Speedos. People have done that in the past. You don't need to be emailing me photos of Speedos, or we don't.
I'll send you another Christmas card.
Nope.
I mean, if you want to send me speedos, that's fine. I mean, we wouldn't mind the endorsement on the show, but just don't send me pictures of you in the speedos. That's different.
Yeah.
Final
Send me
four.
Speedos, put them in
Final four.
Speedos
Colin.
already got him all messed up.
There you go. No, I just didn't cross off what I was supposed to. Colin starts us off.
Colin's gonna blow his load.
Well, you have options. I need you to pick one of these, and then we will, from that name, that's what matchup we're gonna work on. Okay? Is it Jelly Roll, David Spade, Danny DeVito, or Adam Devine? I need you to pick one of those four. Did we lose you? Okay, no, he's moving. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he froze.
Pick one of them
One of them.
to be the worst Bond.
Just one of them in general. I don't care the reason. I just need to pick one of them because that's going to decipher what side we're going to start off on.
Let's go with David Spade.
All right. So the matchup you are starting off on is either Adam Devine or David Spade. Worst Bond.
Yeah, I'd like to blow my load at that point, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna throw Kevin a bone on this one for being a longtime bastard and kind of saving the show today. I'm gonna go with Adam Devine on this one, knowing that he has major hatred towards him. Kevin, is it Adam Devine or David Spade?
It's Adam Devine.
Steve.
Can I blow my load?
Yep.
Ha
Will.
You gave me the proper. I love it.
Divine.
Which means with that, unless people can change people's directions, Adam Devine will be moving on. Colin, David Spade, Adam Devine.
David Spade, and the answer, my reason remains the same. He's a squeaky little twatbag.
Steve finishes out.
David Spade, because I'd rather see Adam Devine in a blue Speedo.
I think this is the only time Adam Devine will ever make it to the finals of any bracket episode.
I don't know if we do a bracket of beady-eyed little bastards.
It'd be a short list. I mean,
You'd be surprised. I know a lot of beady-eyed little bastards.
all right, I start this one off. This shit. I really wish one of these were on the opposite side because this should be a hell of a final. It's either Jelly Roll or Danny DeVito. However, I will be blowing my load on this one. Kevin, is it Jelly Roll or Danny DeVito?
Oh man, watching you blow your load made me blow mine. So
Kind of figured as much. Steve?
Shit, can I steal Kevin's vote?
No.
He hasn't gone yet.
I'm aware of that, but that was done with those 4 votes. You don't even have the option anymore.
Oh, well, fuck me.
I prefer not
They
to.
just blew their load. You can't. You
Yeah.
gotta give them recharge.
give me
It's
5
Jelly-
minutes. Give me 10
Jelly
minutes.
Roll. It's
I mean,
Jelly Roll. Fuck this
I mean,
guy.
that would require a picture in a blue Speedo. So
I'd rather see DeVito in a blue Speedo. It's Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll gets a vote. Will?
Jelly all day.
Colin?
Yeah, it has to be Jelly Roll. Yeah.
Gets the vote. I'm going to go with Jelly Roll as well. And Kevin fishes out.
DeVito.
Jelly Roll makes
So
it
you
the finals.
are admitting you want to see Jelly in the blue Speedo, Kevin. Good job, bud.
Hey, don't kink shame me.
I'm not. As long as Bunny's helping him put it on.
We're just congratulating you on like finally admitting like where you stand.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
we support you.
All right, third place. Kevin
Although
starts
now
us
I
off.
want a donut.
A jelly donut?
Yeah.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Oh, that makes me want a hot dog real bad, like the 4th of July.
Dude, we need to get you and Kate together on a show.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh, I'd love it. It'd be amazing.
Oh, speaking of, Kevin, that the Spaceballs episode did open up
Oh, it
because
did.
my wife can't do it. So
Put me in,
Steve-
coach.
well, no, you're already doing like two
Okay.
shows this summer. So I think you have Back to the Future coming up too. So
Okay.
so Steve, if you want to do, I talked to Kevin, but about what this show is, but if you want to do Spaceballs with us,
I'm down.
because that would be fucking hysterical.
You just let me know what characters we're recasting so I can get ahead on that, and I'm down.
He's a
I-
huge Mel Brooks fan.
Yeah, I have a list somewhere, so we'll figure that one out. Third place, Kevin starts us off on this one. Is it Danny DeVito or David Spade?
DeVito. He looks too much like a thumb.
Steve?
I'm gonna say DeVito.
Will?
I'm going to go Spade on this one.
Colin?
Spade, squeaky twatbag.
I'm going to go with the audience on this one. It's got to go DeVito. I don't like Spade anyway. I wouldn't want to. I just don't want to give him anything, even a vote. So DeVito gets my vote. DeVito gets third place. Steve starts off the finals. Will, this is the last time you can blow a load. because this is the last matchup. So, Steve,
Jelly Roll.
or Adam Devine, Jelly Roll gets to vote off of that one. Will.
I'm gonna blow my load.
What? Tom?
Even though it means I'd prefer Jelly Roll to be Bond than Adam Devine, that's where it's going.
So you're going with Devine on that one?
Yeah, I hate him as much as Kev does.
I'm going to go with Jelly Roll on this one. Kevin?
The beady-eyed bastard.
Jelly
himself,
Roll? The beady-eyed bastard Jelly Roll?
No.
That's so surprising.
Divine.
Tie-breaking decision coming down to Will.
Blown
Will, who would make the worst Bond out of the 32 names that we have sitting here? Comes down to Jelly Roll, Adam Devine, and a split decision coming down to you on your debut show.
Well, the fact that everything's been portrayed as a blue Speedo to the entire show, I still want to see Jelly in it. Not going to lie. I'm going to take Divine.
I don't think you'd be able to see the Speedo.
He'd be like Norbit. Are you wearing bottoms?
Okay, so according to the audience, Jelly Roll got first place.
Yeah.
Got first place by a massive margin too. It was like a 12-vote difference. Divine got 29th place.
We hate Adam Devine. What can we say?
Yeah.
But
Since when
they
do we
voted,
follow what the audience does?
Jelly Roll getting in the finals kind of joined that. So there is an 83 vote difference between Jelly Roll and Adam Devine, according to the audience. But it comes down to Adam Devine first place, Jelly Roll second place, and Danny DeVito in third.
We fucked you up, haven't we, Frankie? Sorry, man.
That's terrible.
Three
Anyway,
Amigos, man. You can. There you go. The new Three Amigos. Poor horse.
that is our show this week, guys. You can find Kevin at.
Oh, you can find me in the Mod Squad Network official community on Facebook, also the Back to the Retro Review official community on Facebook, or on Instagram at Back to the Retro Review, one word.
You can find Steve at.
Back to the Retro Review and the last podcast you'd want. Tip the veal, try the staff. Thank you all for coming, and if you didn't, better luck next time.
You can find Will at.
His house.
Home.
And you can find our very special guest Colin at.
You can find me in any search engine under Colin in Conversation and on all social medias at Comic Colin 78. Thanks a lot.
And I am your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find me at that on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, check out Bracket Bastard, the audience vote, where you can vote along with us next week. And it's going on now, actually. We're doing the Bracketology End of an Era tour, where we're taking all of the movies that have previously won a bracket during that entire situation, and in the second part of the tournament, whoever wins that tournament will be facing Jurassic Park, which won the first tournament, and that will be a special end of an era type thing. If I remember right, the last time we did this on Bracketology, Back to the Future won, and it ended up facing Jurassic Park, and it beat Jurassic Park, much to Q's chagrin on that one. But we'll be doing that next week.
That's some bullshit.
They're both great. They're both great movies. I had trouble deciding myself.
Hey, only one of them was the number one film in 1993.
Yeah, because the other one was number one film in 1985.
85, yeah. After that, we're doing non-Grammy winners, so people who are extremely famous, who have never won a Grammy in their lifetime. On Twitter, I'm at Fisher777. We're all at Bracket Pod, and on Instagram, you can find me as always at Can't Lick Me, not one word. I like to end every single show with a quote. Today's quote is actually two quotes because Paul ended up giving us his, and it is Paul's quote is, "Welcome to slavery. No thanks. I already have a wife." From Dusk Till Dawn.
Mhm.
Mine is the one I'm giving because we're just a Bond episode. Says, "I got an itch down there. Now the whole world's gonna know that you scratched my balls." From Casino Royale. There you go. Have a good week, guys.
So much for speedos.